Hello family, how you guys doing? So today I'm going to be talking about Pilla in the birth chart and a woman in a man's world. Okay, so first off, Pilla asteroid. If you want to find that in your birth chart, you go to astro.com and you can generate a free birth chart. Add the asteroid Pilla. It is the number 2 asteroid and you will find her in your birth chart, the house and sign. All right, so let's get into the fact that Pilot is like a badass asteroid, okay? She is a warrior goddess asteroid that was born to her father, Jupiter's, and she was born of his head. So basically, she was born from a man, Pilot. She was born out of her father's forehead, and because of that, she was also deemed to be the goddess of strategy. She's also known for mental energy in your chart, wisdom of strategy, creative intelligence in your birth chart, genius, rational thinking, and exceptional perception. Pila is also known as being her father's favorite child, which is Jupiter's favorite child. This is a very, very important part. So just listen to her history before we get into the understanding of her in your birth chart and how it affects you as a woman. Okay. So because she was birthed from her father's head, Pila was not birthed from a woman, and she was birthed full grown, which made it that this basically this energy didn't have a feminine component to her. So basically, Pila in your birth chart as a woman, she will represent the area where you have detached from the feminine origin and has basically and she destroyed it. Okay, so it's like in your birth chart, Pila is where you detach from your female origin and then you basically destroy all aspects of the female nature, because Pila in your birth chart is basically a woman that is able to have male friendships without complications of sexual entanglement. So Pila is able to be very detached from the opposite sex and also very detached from her own sex because of her mental processes, the way that she was born and the way that she came into the world. I find Pila to be a very interesting aspect because a lot of women that are in their career or in the workforce or in the work world have a strong Pila, or their Pila is connected to something where they feel like they have to keep on moving or going. There's a kind of like a detachment from the emotional nature or the receptive feminine nature. In the birth chart, when I find that Pila is strongly imposed, or Pila can also be one of these women that are not really about the more traditional way of living. She can have a different way or a different outlook on life. She can be more fashion forward or fashion backwards in case depending on what's going on with her and if her Pila is retrograde or direct in her birth chart. So it's basically like the unconscious masculine side of a woman takes over and dominates your personality. And you can find that your pilot becomes strong when that kind of needs to be exuded in your birth chart. Or you can find that triggers or transits to your pilot can activate that kind of nature from you as a woman. So let's say you're a woman that has never been a kind of woman to really defend yourself, to state your opinions in a very detached way without your emotions being involved. Or you need to strategize, or you needed to play with the boys, or you needed to have or you were in an environment where you had to deal with more male dominant energy than female dominant energy, this is where your Pila would probably come into play more. Because remember, she is exceptional for perception, so she's able to see long and far. Unlike other asteroid goddesses, Pila is kind of like the embodiment of the mental creativity of a woman and what she can do with that mental creativity if she uses action and strategy to get things done. Usually the feminine principle, what they would do is they would use cycles and rhythms, following something, doing rituals to get things done, to have a result. So let's say full moon cycles, new moon cycles. If you are trying to get something done, if you want results, these are usually things that you'll find that receptive women do. But with Pila's type of energy, Pila is more of, okay, I want it. I see it, I envision it, and then I put forth the action towards that for me to get it. So this is kind of more of Pila's way of thinking and strategizing. She's more of I strategize, I think, I strategize, I plot, and then I act. Because remember, she has more of a masculine component to her because she was born from her father. You can find that if you do have a strong asteroid, the strong pilot influence in your birth chart, that you identify more with your father or you identify more with a male counterpart. I'm going to give myself in this example. I have pilot in Aquarius, and Aquarius is the sign of detachment. So I do find that in my own even way of sometimes dealing and processing information, I as a woman can detach from the emotional nature depending on the situation that is at hand. If I'm around a lot of masculine energy or a lot of men, I tend to then transfer that energy on into my Pila nature. Whereas some women may have their Pila in Cancer, and their Pila nature will be transferred into maybe more of a home environment, stabilizing the family environment, things of that nature. I'm more of a Pila Aquarius, so I am more about the intellect, the mind. Other women have it differently. So there can be also kind of like a victory for the father's rights type of thing with a strong Pila. I find that a lot of times women with strong Pilas may win a battle but lose a war because of the fact that they were so androgynous in their approach, so straightforward in their approach without the attachment of emotion. And that can also stimulate other people to feel a way about the energy that is being exuded by the asteroid that you have in your chart, Pila. So, right, okay, one more thing that I have to say about Pila, which is very, very important regarding women and female relationships with Pila in your birth chart. Pila is known to have basically turned Medusa's beautiful hair into snakes due to something that has to do with her being jealous or envious of the fact that Medusa was defiled and raped in her temple in Greek mythology or Roman mythology. If you study the asteroid Pila, you'll see that. And Pila basically turned Medusa's beautiful hair into snakes. So I find that's a denied expression of the goddess fertility principle, where because Pila was not basically formulated or taught in these kind of ways, she didn't understand or probably felt a way about these kind of energies that other people or other females exuded because she didn't have a mother or was not raised in the way that most women were to kind of understand their feminine energy and to live in their feminine energy. So you can find that if you are very Pila, you can find that it may be a little bit harder for you to connect on that level with that kind of vibration. You may find that your energy is more you vibe more with energy that is more action oriented or energy that is more mental. Okay, so look at Pila in your birth chart. Where is it? What sign and house is it in? And figure out what aspects it's making. If you don't know, book a reading with me. Contact me at astrology.com. I'll be so excited to help you. I love doing this kind of stuff for my clients. And if you're a man and you're watching this video and you find that this does not resonate with you, Pila also tells you the type of woman that you would like to attract in terms of strategy. If you are a man that is attracted to the same sex, it tells me about the way you strategize to get the things that you want out of your life. Find the aspect in your chart it's making. It lets you know how you're dealing with strategizing. Because if Pila is poorly aspected in your chart, I'm going to say if Pila is not having the best conversations, because I don't believe in that poorly aspected stuff. I believe we can all work through our energies. If Pila is having some conversations that are not that friendly in your chart, it can make things a little bit difficult. Problem with visualization, problems with perception, difficulty with learning and understanding. So if you find that that's happening to you too, it may be your asteroid Pila that is being activated. Again, book your reading with me if you definitely want to figure more out about your Pila. If you're one of those gun-ho women where you're living in a man's world and you're trying to figure it out more, contact me at aquilastrology.com and I can help you with that. All right, guys. See you guys later. Thank you.